What's good, everybody? Y'all know who it is. It's your boy, the Grandmastertroll, here to give you some of the best trolling content YouTube has to offer. Let me see. Let me see if I can mute this real quick. Let me see if I'm still echoing. Let me see if I'm still echoing. I've been trying to fix this problem. I hooked up with my boy C over. He gave me some audio software to use, and it looked like it's not working. So I uninstalled all the software program. I didn't have sound. I wasn't able to use my microphone. Wasn't able to use my microphone or get sound on my computer. I finally just solved it about 30 minutes ago, and now it looks like I got an echo, but I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna cook anyway, because we gotta talk about this, right? We gotta talk about something serious that's going on in the manosphere. So the title of this stream, is the Kevin Samuel 6, the Goddis love triangle, and the high cost of high value. This morning, we woke up today this morning. We saw the Bernard Riley 101 with the angry man talking about manhood. One of the things that they touched on was marriage. And there was guys like Ramil, guys like Keith Lamont. They went up there, they surveyed, they looked at the women that was available, and they said, these is a bunch of baby mamas and thoughts. Why would I wife them up? But more importantly, the brothers that I see wifing these baby mamas and thoughts up are getting divorced. They lost half their wealth. Why would I follow in their footsteps? But more importantly, on this, that we watch Kevin Samuels not only do the same thing, but then create and participate and run amok with the baby mamas and thoughts that so-called high value men don't want. And guys like Ramil O'Meara and Mr. Pump and Dump, who's in the chat room, and Keith Lamont's of the world, the woman that they don't want, they will create them. What are you talking about, GMT? What are you talking about, GMT? He says, you sure you ain't got another device right now? I'm looking, I'm on one laptop. It's not the device. I think it's just something with the microphone. But I'm on, let me see, I'm on one device right now. I understand I got the echo. I could hear myself when I talk. Let me see if I could. Let's see. We're gonna go to settings real quick. No, that's not gonna work either. That's not gonna work either. I'm gonna talk to my man Silva. We gonna go ahead. We gonna get this squared away. Mr. Pump and Up says, keep the echo. I like it. It's more like a reverb to me. So let's go ahead and cut, because we gotta break down what happened to you guys. I gotta break it down what happened to you guys. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. I got this bullshit on here. Let me see if I could get up out of this. See if I could exit out of that. But there was a let me see. Why is it bringing me to my browser window? Let's see if I can do this. Does it bring me? No. I'll do this. There we go. Now we got the browser render up. So now we go ahead and cut because Media Takeout, they did a so-called hit piece. And for you guys that don't know, in the manosphere, there's different sites like Media Takeout, Black City Girl. My man Cova says turn off A1 on your mic. That may be why you have an echo. Cova uninstalled that program, so I cannot turn off A1. But I'm going to go ahead and get to this anyway. There's a lot of sites that's doing these hit pieces on the big dogs in the manosphere. They got Kevin Samuels. There's been one I've been wanting to do on alpha male strategies, but I couldn't get my audio figured out. That's why I haven't done that video yet. But there's a lot of these sites writing hit pieces, and we had one of the biggest hit pieces, not as big as the AMS one. The AMS one is going to break down this whole alpha male strategy and the whole game y'all been talking about. But I'm going to get to this one. It says YouTube dating guru. Kevin Samuels accused of stealing young married women. It says Kevin Samuels is one of the most popular dating gurus on YouTube, and today he's going viral. NTO News can report. Kevin has a very unique style of offering dating advice. Much of his advice, which is aimed at black women, centers around telling black women they should lower their dating standards. According to Kevin, black women have unrealistic expectations when it comes to dating. I want y'all to remember that quote right there. But it's not Kevin's advice that has people talking. It's his new, much younger girlfriend, Kevin, who is 55, posted new pics online suggesting that he's now dating a 29-year-old Instagram an Instagram model. And you see the picture right here. You see Kevin Samuels with the hand around the waist, posing around Atlanta City like he's been doing for the good part of the year, just having a good old time. Then you get more pictures right here, and somebody need to find Jessica X. She needs to do, hold on, Jessica X. She needs to take another avatar, because as I build up the Black Manosphere beauties, I got up to 30 women who's going to be competing with that #1 spot in 6th, the Goddis right here. Just look at that right there. That natural hair, that brown skin. Just look at that right there. Where's CO at? Where Rash the bad guy? Just look at that right there. Hold on, let me see if I can see that. Yeah, y'all can see it right there. Just look at that right there. I'm telling you, the competition out here, just on these YouTube streets, it's ferocious. But we're gonna slide down, and I wish I could play some of that O'Shea Duke Jackson dating music. But I'm gonna read a couple of these bullshit lyrics, these bullshit words that 6th the Goddess wrote down. If you didn't already know, this page is about black love, black growth and healing, black families, traditional black gender roles, and for the support of feminine black women or black women wishing to embark on their journey back to femininity. So I need somebody to support the channel, hit the link, cash apps, do what you gotta do, support the channel. I'm gonna break this down for y'all today, cause in this day and age, we watching the NBA, boycott for a couple of days. We got everybody on TV talking about Black Lives Matter this, Black Lives Matter that. And here we got Six the Goddess herself talking about black love, black growth, black families, traditional black gender roles, black femininity, black this, black that, black cars, black skin, black shoes, black hair, black fingernail polish, black bags. They talking about everything that's black. But this is how they getting down in these streets. So I'm gonna slide through this BS right here. We got more pictures to look at that right there. Look, that's right. That's 6'1", 130 pounds, size 6. You see, when Kevin Samuels does his so-called live streams talking about, shout out to my man, Big Game Orenthal James, he says go in. I'm gonna go in, but we got it right here. This is what the manosphere want right there. This is what the colorism girls want right here. They want to see brothers connect and do the whole love thing with women that look like this right here. This is what they want to see. Then Kevin Samuels and Six the Goddess, they tried to give y'all what y'all wanted to see, but there was one problem. So it says right here. So what's the problem? Well, not too long ago, Kevin's new lady was all over Instagram with the man whom she claimed as her husband. The couple were raising a son together and putting out the image of being a happy black family all over social media. And you see the pictures of the brother right here with Six the Goddess and what appears to be a son. You see him right here at this event. You see the man with the hand around the hips, just like Kevin Samuels. If I slide back up, as you saw right here with the hands around the hip. Let's go ahead. This is supposed to be a beautiful black family showing what black love is supposed to be. Don't they know how to put a good, when it's time to take a picture of black love, they know how to put on the dashikis. You can see the man right here in the African dashiki. We see Six the Goddess, what appears to be some kind of African garb that they wore in Africa that I've seen pictures, or maybe those clays, those statues, those little figurines that your grandma, your auntie had all in the house when they wore outfits like that. Y'all seen the black love, and here they are on Instagram fronting for the gram. Always fronting for the gram. Why is that? Why black folk always gotta front for the gram? Why can't they just keep it real? So we saw what the problem was. That was the problem. The problem is, did Kevin Samuels, is he stealing young married women? So I'm gonna close out of that because it's starting to make some noise. Let me close out of that. Let me go ahead and look into the camera real quick. Is Kevin Samuels stealing young married women? Well, let's see how Kevin Samuels stole a young married woman. Let's see how he did. Where did this kerfuffle start? Where did this controversy start at? For you guys that don't know, your boy Kevin Samuels, he went live. He decided to go live August 29th. And he thought he was going to get on YouTube talking about almost 13 feet of chocolate. This is how business gets done. They like to talk to you Negroes about business. Well, just what is the business? That's what we want to know. What is the business? That's what we want to know. What is the business? The business is fucking somebody else's bitch, getting on YouTube, and he gonna tell you how he gonna steal your wife. How does this keep happening? Let me explain to you Negroes how this happens. Let me explain to you Negroes how this happens. See, this is Six the Goddess Instagram page. See, there's a problem with Negroes in business. See, the new hustle, the new business that's booming in the black community is people are trying to be social media influencers. That is the new hustle in the black community. What do you mean the new hustle? This is what they doing. This is what they doing. We seen it from Alpha Male Strategies, Hustlers Kung Fu, O'Shea, Angry Man, Kevin Samuels. Pick your favorite YouTuber with more than 10,000 subscribers. Just go ahead and pick them. Just go ahead and pick them. What they do is they will create an LLC that's geared around so-called media production, and they turn at being social media influencers. So they get the AdSense, they get the donations, they hope they get sponsorships, this and that, and move the money into a business bank account and try to enjoy the benefits of having an LLC without really doing real business. We see the boom with the OnlyFans, the Pornhub got their own content creator section. Everybody trying to move, especially with COVID-19 going on. Everybody's trying to position themselves to grow their platforms. But there's one problem. When you struggle to grow your platform, what you gotta do is you gotta ride somebody else's wave. You see, as that article stated, Six the Goddess was on Instagram with her husband trying to put on this front as a strong black family, but there's one problem. If you can't grow your brand, you can't grow your money. You can't grow your money, you can't leverage your business banking account. So what you gotta do is you gotta make an adjustment. This is the adjustment being it. So for you guys that don't know, let's go ahead and look at the numbers. This right here is Six the Goddess YouTube channel. Now, I don't know how this happened. I need somebody to explain to me. She has over 4,000 subscribers, but she only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos up on her page. I need somebody to explain to me how you get 4,000 subscribers on YouTube, but you only got 7 videos on your page. So I gotta tell y'all what's fixing to happen. I got close to 50 people watching me. Hit the like button. This is what's fixing to happen. Six the Goddess sees that she's not gaining momentum. We go over to her Instagram page. She got what? 125,000 followers. But if I click the follow button right here, and even if I were to look at some of her pictures, read some of her posts, this, that, and such, that don't put money in her banking account. I'm just sliding through. That doesn't put any money in her banking account. So I'm on her Instagram, and the woman who's supposed to be having her husband up on here, I don't see no pictures of no husband. I see everything else but a husband. I see legs, I see thighs, I see breasts, I see cleavage, I see booty, I see booty, I see booty, but I don't see a husband. I'm scrolling down all the way back. I see everything but a husband. Why don't you see a husband? It's because of this man right here is why you don't see a husband. This right here is why you don't see a husband. No ring, no husband, but a bunch of legs, thighs, breasts, and booty. That's right, Dwayne. I see booty. Let me see if I can find that Instagram post right here. Let me see if I can slide down and go back to that post right here. See, it's the problem. See, we gotta start giving we gotta give them the attention they don't want. We gotta give them the attention they don't want. Look at this right here. Here. They on here claiming that they exercise. This is what they do. They claiming that they exercising. They claiming that they exercising, but what they are doing is they are thirst trapping. They are trying to thirst trap so-called high value men. We got Rich Mint saying she a former escort. They talking about former pimps and all that. I don't know nothing about that, but when I see a thirst trap, I see a thirst trap, and somebody was up there and took the bait. Kevin Samuels took the bait. He stole this man's woman. He stole it. He stole this man's woman. Took that man's woman on a date.
What's going on? What's going on? What is going on?
This lit elevator.
I know, right? Almost 13 feet. They're like, what? What does that mean?
It's all there.
My favorite place is we'll go next door to get some. So like after you. What's going on, guys? So
This dude, Kevin Samuels, he thought he could show some work. He thought he could fool you Negroes by showing some work. He thought he could get on YouTube and fool you Negroes about showing some work. He thought he could get up there with a 6'1", 135-pound woman who's in shape, look good, natural hair. He thought he could fool you Negroes. can't fool the grandmastertroll because I know the game. I know the game. I've been in this exact same position, but I don't go on the gram. I don't go on YouTube stunting, showing off, driving foreign, worried about fucking somebody else's bitch. I don't do that. I seen it done. I even done it myself. I'm gonna share this story. I didn't want to share this story, but I'm gonna share this story today. I'm gonna share this story today. Let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can show y'all how cold the game is. Let me see if I can show you how cold the game is. Because the game is cold. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Oh, I found it. Let me show you how cold the game is. Hit 1 if you want to hear about how cold the game is. I gotta break down to you how cold the game is so cold. I'm not even supposed to be sharing this information. That's how cold the game is. Hit 1 if you want to hear how cold the game is. And this is why marriage in the so-called community, the numbers of marriages and successful marriages is dwindling. Hit 1 if you want to hear how cold the game is. See, my man, if Mr. Poppin' Dub is still in, he already know how cold the game is. That's why he got a name, Mr. Poppin' Dub, and he don't care what y'all think about it, because he knows there ain't nothing but thoughts and baby mamas out here on these streets. So I'm gonna break down to you how cold the game is. Can y'all see this right here? Can y'all see this right here? I'm not gonna leave it up that long. Can y'all see that right there? Can y'all see? You saw that fire, honey, looking right there? I'll show it to you one more time. Show it to you one more time. You see that right there? Let me show you. Let me tell you how cold the game is. Let me say how cold the game is cold, man. This is what I knew. This is when I got my first introduction to how cold the game is. Y'all know how to referee, right? Y'all know how to referee, right? So we down at Chico, California, at Chico State. Where you guys that live in California, y'all know Chico is in Chico State University. It's a college party town. But anyway, we have our college tryouts at Chico State. So I'm at Chico State, and this bride who is in our high school association is up there, I'm up there, of course, I'm always on the prowl, I'm always a little thirsty, no, brothers, you always, we trying to quench our thirst, man. Hacking habit, we gonna press our luck, and if we get lucky, we get lucky. But this is how I figured out how cold this game is. So after we get through reffing the court, right, it's 5'7" right here, 120 pounds, golden, light skin, hazel green eyes. I'm gonna show you how cold the game is. So we get done fasting on the court, we be back in the dorm room, just chilling, doing our thing, we gotta wake up 7 o'clock early in the morning, we talking about going to the club and having fun. By the time you get to your dorm room and you take a shower, it's about time to go to sleep, do that in the third. So I get the text from old girl. because I was pressing my luck, trying to see if they was going to the club, see if any of the female referees want, go to the club, have a good time, maybe drink a little bit, get into a little something. Y'all know how it's done out the street. So I took a couple of flyers, the night was getting a little long. It looked like that was going to happen, but girl, wanted to go to the club. I'm not a club person. I don't drink, I don't dance, I don't do none of that stuff. So, I was trying to find any way to get out of going to the club, but I could not get out of going to the club. So I ended up taking no girl. I ended up taking no girl to the club. So I drive to the club, we in the club, you know. I drove, she ended up buying me some drinks. Now, those of you guys that don't know me, y'all know I don't drink alcohol. You give me alcohol, I will not drink it unless it tastes like Sprite or some type of sweet Kool-Aid. But most alcohol, it tastes like, I don't drink alcohol. That's just, it's not my thing. So she buying me all these drinks. You know, I'm not really drinking the drink, but I'm sitting down, you know, they got the music playing, they got Too Short, Blow the Whistle, because, you know, in California, that's what they play in the club. So they got Too Short, Blow the Whistle come on, and some dude come over and he see old girl that I'm sitting with. He see old girl that I'm sitting with, right? So he came over and he thought he was going to spin a little game. He thought he was going to spin a little game. So I'm sitting there because, you know, I gotta wake up at 7 o'clock. I don't care about nothing. I'm trying to get this college contract so I can get closer to the D1 level so I can make my 6 figures and be high value like our brother Candy Sang. That's what I'm trying to do. So he come over here and he shoot a shot, and when he did, old girl gonna say, my husband's right here, and she pointed to me, and I'm sitting, I'm like, huh? Wait, hold on. I didn't say this out loud, but I said this in my head. I said, hold on. I'm your husband. Hold on. You got 2 kids at home right now, and your real husband is watching them 2 kids while you in the club. So he came over, he shot a shot, he got turned down, you know, she started drinking a little drink, and she grabbed my hand, she wanted to do, you know, some dancing. You guys know how the dancing go. Y'all know how the dancing go. You know, they put that little, hold on, let me see if I can bring it back up. Let me see if I can bring it back up right here. Let me see if I can bring it back up. They try to put that, you know, they try to put that booty on you and dance a little bit, you know. They try to put that booty on you and dance a little bit. So when she ran, I'm sitting there, I said, hold on, you got a husband at home, you're supposed to be watching them 2 kids. Now, I seen her husband at previous games because we rapped in the same area. I damn near shook his hand after one of the games. You know, she started throwing that thing. I'm sitting there, I said, hold on. This can't be real. This can't be real. So I took my hands. Put my hands on the hips. And she even knows bumping and grinding. I said, this can't be real. She got a husband at home. The game can't be this cold. True, exposed. The game can't be this close. So she went in that thing. I got my hands on the head. You know, she got that, you know, she got that Jessica action, you know, that white so-called tank top with the cleavage hanging. So I said, hold on, the game can't be this close. I said, hold on. It can't be this close. I took my hand, you know. I took these hands, you know, I started playing with the breast. Now, when I first touched my dog, you know, she was going to maybe hit me upside my head, but and she kept dancing. I said, hold on, the game is cold. I'm sitting here touching a married woman's hips and breasts. She got a husband at home watching 2 kids. Them 2 kids is less than 3 years old. I said, hold on, I'm going to figure out how cold the game is. So I took my hands off the, you know, off the chest part, you know, and I said, hold on, I'm gonna touch this right here. I'm gonna rub on the ass a little bit, you know. I'm just gonna rub on it just a little bit. She dancing up on me. I rub that. So I'm in the club, rubbing on a married woman's behind, booty in the club while she got 2 kids and a husband at home. So I said, oh shit. That's why I said, oh shit, I want to know how cold, the coldest of the game. So I take these hands because she wearing them Jessica X white tank top shirts, you know, with the cleavage hanging out. And she got these booty shorts just like this right here. But these booty shorts, you guys know how they wear them. Let me see if I can bring it up. You know how they wear these booty shorts where the button is a little bit undone, and you know the button's undone where the zipper is at. So I said, hold on. So I stuck my hand down to where the vagina was at, where that panty line was at. And I got the green light. So we in the club dancing. I got my hands all over this married woman. And she got 2 kids and a husband at home. So we keep dancing in the club, right? We dance in the club. It's getting that time, leave the club, go back to the room. And this was before Mode 1, this was before Arouse the Courage, before Alpha Male Strategies, before the Beta Male Revolution, before Steve the Dean, the Man Mindset, before the Angry Man, before all of that, before anybody wrote a book about Kanye. We get back to the dorms. My room downstairs, her room upstairs. Let me tell you how cold the game is. So we get to the stairs. I said, so since I'm your husband, because you told the old boy at the club I was your husband, why don't you let me carry you up to your room? Like, you guys seen the videos where the wife jump onto the groom's arm and they carry him upstairs into the room, have a little honeymoon. I carry this married woman up to her room, and y'all know what happens next. But I say all that to say, just because you think you got you a wife, you doing everything you need to do, you watching the kids while your wife is out doing who knows what. That's how cold the game is. So alchemy is into this. We gotta talk about these loves. We gotta talk about these love triangles. Because what Six the Goddess is trying to do, we go ahead and go back to it right here. Because we know why. We know why Kevin Samuels is over there. We know why. Look at it. We know why Kevin Samuels is over, but we gotta talk about why Six the Goddess selected Kevin Samuels. When you sitting over there with 4,000 subscribers, you got the subscribers, you probably got the watch time in minutes. Now it's time to grow the channel. What better way to grow the channel than to be a black woman that's 6'1" in good shape, that all the so-called high value men want? Why not leech on and ride the wave that is Kevin Samuels? Start doing collabs. I mean, you guys seen O'Shea do Jackson when he talks about the squirrel acting girls. They got their white husbands. They got a YouTube channel. They go to different restaurants, this, that, and the third. They end up getting 100 subscribers. They end up getting a bunch of watch time and asses and make a lot of money just by being in a relationship with a white man. Why not for Six the Goddess to hook up with Kevin Samuels, get thrown out, because we saw Kevin Samuels move down to Atlanta. Don't think for 1 second that Kevin Samuels didn't move from Oklahoma to Atlanta to get a little closer to this right here. Don't think, Negro, do not think right here. I mean, we be looking at the pictures right here. We be looking at. We know why you moved to Atlanta. Look at, we know why. We know why. Just talking about right here. Y'all see that? Y'all see that right there? We know why Kevin Samuels moved to Atlanta. He not fooling me. He may be fooling you, talking about, I moved to Atlanta because, you know, business, I want to network, I want to get 6 figures this, you know, I want to be high value, you know, I want to make 6 figures for a number of years so I can get high value, you know, I want to, you know, get some sponsorships, you know, I want to connect with the black community because Atlanta is the Wakanda of the black community, and, you know, I want to show what black men could do with business and show the world that black men could do business. Forget all that. We know why. We know why now. We know. We know. See, all you gotta do when these Negroes start moving a little bit funny. It's always behind the female. It's behind the female. It's always the female. It's always, every time. Make no mistake about it. It's always the female. Always. So, what they trying to do, what Kevin Samuels trying to do, is he wants to shame you into getting married. Just like when he stole that man's wife. According to Reg the Bad Guy, there's some speculation that the kid is 10 to 12 years old, 6 the Goddis is 29. So if I do the math and I do 29 minus 10, I will put her at 19 years old when she had a baby. We all know that 19-year-old is too young to be having a kid. We know why. The community has a problem with teenage pregnancy. It's more than likely that her so-called husband is maybe even a stepdaddy to that kid. We know why. All the markings is there. All the markings is, you don't believe it? Let's look at the YouTube channel. The answers is always in the YouTube channel. See, when we talk about bad behavior, all we gotta do is look at the YouTube channel. It says, should you take your husband's last name? Stop the show right there. I'll bring it up. Should you take your husband's last name? Well, if I went back to your Instagram post where you were talking about black love, black children, black family, black traditional gender roles, black this, black socks, black shirt, black hat, black panties, black thongs, black. Of course you're gonna take your husband's last name. It's not even a question. For they come out time and time again. We've seen it with, who is that girl? Nicole Michelle. We've seen it with her. You about to see it with the nigga. You about to see it with Jessica X. At the end of the day, they will always break your heart. So you try to get close to them because nobody knew who Six the Goddess was until Kevin Samuels went live. But we know who she is. I'm going to check out the chat room real quick, see what y'all saying. I really ain't been keeping up. We got D-Darrell in the building. Let's go ahead and do that right here. Give him a little wrench. Got my man D-Darrell in the building, dropping some content. He said Kenneth is on fire. LL, laugh out loud. We got Kevin Kelly in the building. Shout out to him. We got Jewel in the building. Shout out to her. John the Analyst, my man Tampa Supreme. But this is what's going on in the community. We've got dating coaches stealing Negroes' wives. Now, the second part of this is the high cost of high value. We gotta go over what the cost is of being high value. See, when you high value like Kevin, and you could put on that suit and tie, look good, be 6'5", fit in shape, and be a little bit older, but can still look young if he wants to comb the gray out. He can steal your wife. When Kevin Samuels gets to stealing your wife, this is what happens. When Kevin Samuels steals your wife, let me see if I can bring it back up real quick. Because what people don't know is there was casualties of war behind these love triangles. There's always a casualty of war. And one of the casualties of war is the black family. So we got a dude right here who I'm sure, who I've been told was handling his business, taking care of a woman and a child. The child may have been his, it may not have been his. We don't know. We could just look at the picture of the kid and look at the picture of the father, and do we see any similarities? And if we don't see any similarities, then it's safe to assume that maybe he's not the biological father. But what ends up happening, since he done married this woman, and she done monkey branched her way onto Kevin Samuels, or like my girl Jewel says, Kevin Samuels. What ends up happening is this man's gotta get divorced. He gonna pay child support for a kid that's either his, or worst case scenario, pay child support for a kid that isn't. He gotta pay alimony. He gotta use half his wealth. We watched the destruction of another black family. We know Kevin Samuels ain't gonna marry Six the Goddess. We know Kevin Samuels is just having a little fun in the bedroom. We know what's going. We know what's going on here. So we watched the fall of a black family. A 10-year-old, 12-year-old, 13-year-old boy has to be raised in a co-parenting household, which is the same as a single-parent household. So that's one thing the community they don't want to talk about. So they talk about single mothers and single parents and the effects that single children go through when they're raised in a single parent household, but there's the same effects when it's a co-parent household, but nobody talk about them. We look at all these divorces and fights over custody of the kids. Nobody ever talks about the co-parent household and the dysfunction of that. I'm going to leave that to somebody who has a little bit more experience than I have, but we all know what it is. But more importantly, all the black men who watch the stealing, the stolen, the robbery of wives happen. And for Kevin Samuels to go on YouTube, this is how cold the game is. This is how cold the game is. He went on YouTube to brag to you Negroes. He went on YouTube to brag to you Negroes that he could steal your bitch. He could steal your wife.
And he was so disrespectful with it. He went live on YouTube talking about almost 13 feet of chocolate. This is how business gets done. So I'm watching the video.
Where'd you park? No, we'll go this way. So, we're out and about here. You've never been here?
Where am I?
Never been here?
Why they can't see me? Why do you look so black?
Because the screen is dark.
Looking real bad.
Let me see if I can like hold that for a second. Hold on, guys. You're like, well, I'm feel better now.
Okay,
I'm watching the video.
What's going on, guys? We're out and about at the shops at Buckhead. The girl 6, the Goddess. We just had a great dinner at La Colonial, and everybody's looking like, gosh, dog, those are some tall people. I know. Are you used to people doing that?
yes.
They're like, oh my God. We're gonna go over here and grab a little sorbet, and we'll get with you guys a little bit later on.
Stop the show right there, because Negroes still don't understand what happened. Let me explain to you what happened. The title of the video was, I'm gonna focus on the second part. This is how business gets done. Now, from what I saw, they went somewhere and got something to eat, and they're gonna go to what appears to be a so-called restaurant, dessert, coffee, latte spot, I don't know. But what flew over a lot of Negroes' head when they had walked out of the building, her car was that way, but Captain Samuel said, let's go this way. So the date was supposed, from what it appears to be, coming to an end. They're going to separate. Maybe Captain Samuel is going to walk her to her car. Maybe they park next to her. I don't know. I'm just going off with what I saw and what I heard. And what I saw and what I heard was 6 got to say her car was this way, and Captain Samuel said, let's go that way. And that married woman didn't even hesitate to follow Kevin Samuels. Didn't hesitate, didn't resist. Up there laughing and giggling like it's a game. This ain't a game. This is supposed to be. She wrote. Let me see if I can pull it up again. I gotta pull it up again. You gotta read what this woman wrote. You gotta read what this woman wrote. Let's see if I can find it and scroll up real quick. If you didn't already know, this page is all about Black love. It's about Black growth and healing, Black families, traditional Black gender roles, and for the support of feminine Black women or Black women wishing to embark on their journey back to femininity. Feminine Black women deserve a safe space to express ourselves and connect with one another. I ask you to respect that. I am completely okay not being for everyone, and I don't want to be. This is my account, which is why I open my mouth here, because I can. It's appropriate. Stop the show right there. She says, I am completely okay not being for everyone, and I don't want to be. So you may not be for everyone, but the brothers want to know. What the brothers want to know is, are you for the streets? Because if you are for the streets, you may not be for everyone. But you're for the streets, and the streets is enough. Let me see if I can continue to keep reading it. keep reading this abomination of a statement. You'll never see me go into spaces of others and loud mouth my own disagreement with what they choose to say and post. It's inappropriate. Nobody asks me. If you don't like me, cool. You don't agree with me, cool. Here, it's important to think and reflect on what you see before we impulsively react negatively, because a lot of info here is triggering because it goes against everything we are conditioned to believe. Protect your mental health, and please just unfollow me if you disagree with something I say. So bad that you're typing Bible verses in my comments when nobody asked you to be here, nor does anyone care. Stop the show right there. See, it sounds like somebody got accused of doing something they had no business doing. Instead of taking accountability for what they're being corrected, critiqued, or held accountability on, all of a sudden they don't want to hear about Bible verses. Hold on, stop the show right there, because if we go back to that first line, about black everything, let me read it to you again. If you didn't already know, this page is all about black love, black growth and healing, black families, traditional black gender roles, and for the support of feminine black women or black women wishing to embark on their journey back to femininity. My question is, how do you talk about traditional black gender roles and you don't want to talk about the Bible? Oh, where's O'Shea at? Get Don Flintstone ass on the organ. She also said, I welcome all feminine black women. I welcome all masculine black men. I welcome all black people that love each other. No bitterness, no resentment. Just healthy black people that want to learn from me and one another. Share positive perspective and continue doing the work and having the difficult conversations we need to gain understanding and love one another again. Working the kinks out. I practice what I preach. This is not cap. This is not a phase. This is not a joke. I have a job to do. And the healing to facilitate my sisters and myself. So please stay out of my way. If you're in opposition to that, and express how you disagree on your own account. Thank you. I love you. 6. So we had somebody to say a bunch of hoopty blah blah talking about traditional genders. The question I have for 6 the Goddis, right? The question I have for, since we talking about traditional gender roles, black family, black love, I need you to explain. I'm sorry, let me go ahead and reverse that, because she don't want to be held accountable. She don't want other people to write Bible verses on her post, so it's unfair for me to ask her to explain. But the people want to know. The people want to know. 6 the Goddis. If you had a husband, how was you out on a date with Kevin Samuels? And if you divorced your husband, the Bible says till death do us part. So why couldn't you reconciliate whatever the problem was with your husband? If you're talking about all this black love and black families and black healing and this, that, and the third that's black. My laptop is black. My camera is black. My undershirt is black. My hair is... So you talking all this black, pro-black stuff. Explain to me how you got caught with Kevin Samuels flexing you as arm candy on a date, and you supposed to be married. That's what the pro-black people want to know. I need somebody to explain this to me because I'm lost. I'm lost. They get up here on Instagram talking about black love, black healing, black family, black kids, black husbands, black wives, black fathers, black mothers, black daughters, black sons, black lives matter. And this is how you conduct yourself in the black community. Where do they find these people? That's all I want to know. Where do they find them at? Then you got Kevin Samuels stealing. I gotta show you. We gotta show you what Kevin Samuels has been stealing. He's been over there, he's scamming the whole community. He's scamming the whole community. Now, what do you mean by he's scamming? Let's see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, I can't find it. Let me see, can I find it? Did I spell it right? Let's see. How can I make this work? I'll try this real quick. Can I try this? Let's see if I can pull it up this way. Yep, that'll work right there. Let's see if we could close it. I want to know, Kevin Samuels, you telling the brothers to get married. You telling the brothers to get married. You telling the brothers to get married because one, it will help them move up the corporate ladder. It will help them to grow their wealth, allegedly. So you telling them to get married. You telling them, don't be afraid of getting divorced. Don't be afraid of this. Don't be afraid of child support, alimony, fighting for custody of your kids. Don't be afraid for none of that. I go through your thing. And as I'm sliding down, it won't let me slide down more. It's not going to show me the picture I wanted to see that I saw earlier. But I just want to know, Kevin Samuels, if you telling the brothers to get married, why are you stealing their wives? And you won't even marry them yourself after you steal them. I just want to know, where do they do this at? Where do they steal Tatiana wives at? They steal them and they won't even marry them themselves, but they want you to marry them while you at home with the kids. While you at home with the kids, he doing this.
You know, we're attracting a lot of attention out here. Oh, damn. Later. My favorite place. Later on. Cause you know, we're attracting a lot of attention out here. Oh, damn.
He on YouTube. He on YouTube showing your wife's legs and thighs, booty and breasts and the whole body up there flirting with your wife. Now, I know what Kevin Samuels, I already know what he's going to say, because he said it yesterday on his live stream. He said, I'm tired of people perceiving what I said instead of actually what I said. So what he going to say on this one is, what he going to say on this one, on this video right here, he going to say, I never said I was romantically involved with that woman. I never stole that woman for a husband. I'm not cheating. I'm not creeping. She's not creeping with me. I didn't say that. But you watching it, you literally watching it yourself. You literally watch this man get up there with somebody else's wife.
We'll get with you guys a little bit later on. Because, you know, we're attracting a lot of attention out here. Uh-oh. Oh, damn. Later.
He put the camera on another man's wife, then did the head, the toe, or the toe to head as she danced, showing off that fine figure. And we supposed to act like it's okay. We supposed to act like ain't nothing wrong. We got Man Code TV. Is that chick married? From all the reports I see, that chick is supposed to be married, and he out there flirting and taking married women on dates. He didn't ask that husband for permission. I want to know, Kevin Sam, did you ask that husband to take his wife out on a date? Or did you just circumvent it? Did she lie and say, I'm going to this business meeting? We're meeting at such and such restaurant. It's a business meeting. So this is the business that goes on in the community. This is why when you look for employment jobs that's owned by black people, this is why you can't find those black businesses that's going to hire you. Because the so-called business owners are engaged. They're engaged in business. This is the business of the community. They out having affairs, rendezvous, love triangles. And we got people trying to find jobs at black businesses, and they wondering why they can't find a black business. I just want to know what's going on. What are we doing out in these YouTube streets? What are we doing out here? I had to listen to Bernard Riley and Angry Man Obsidian and Keith Lamont talking about a marriage like it's something you're supposed to strive to do. But they right-hand man is engaged in this behavior and they ain't got a word to say about it. They act like Keith Lamont don't have no validity to his argument. They want to chalk it up to red pill rage. Nah, he seen what y'all heroes doing out here in these streets. And he don't want to be a victim of what y'all doing out here on these streets. He want to stay above the fray. They want to shame him for conducting himself the way he conducted himself. And all he trying to do is protect himself. I just want to know. This is the high cost of being a high value man. See, when these dudes call themselves high value, just know that it's costing somebody on the back end. There's some kid out there who gotta wonder why mama and daddy don't live in the same house. He gotta wonder why his mama won't let him see his daddy. This is why, right? Because y'all out here having these love triangles, y'all getting in these entanglements. Then you claim to be about black traditional gender roles within a relationship. y'all get married, y'all put your hand on that Bible, the pastor will read a passage from the Bible, y'all say y'all wedding vows together. And then 2 years later, you getting divorced. Then you could get on YouTube as a dating coach and give other women dating and marriage advice. Not only are you divorced, but you stealing other husbands' wives. And so with that said, somebody got some explaining to do. Somebody got some explaining to do. It's your boy, the Grandmastertroll, the most dangerous troll on YouTube. I would drop the StreamYard, but I'm echoing right now. I gotta figure out this echo problem. But with that said, it's your boy, the Grandmastertroll. You could be red pill, blue pill, black pill, green pill, yellow pill. It don't matter what pill you take. If they stealing and fucking your life. And then get on YouTube and show they work as they fucking your wife. Flirting with your wife. Taking pictures with their hands around the hips and buttocks of your wife. And then get on YouTube and call it business and collect thousands of dollars a day doing it. It ain't gonna stop. This behavior not gonna stop. It's gonna keep going. It's gonna get worse. They're gonna be on YouTube. They're already on Instagram and Facebook doing it, but now they coming to YouTube. The direct line to their business. No regard for the sanctity of marriage. Stealing somebody's wife and calling it business. It's your boy GNC. I'm out. Peace.